Your students probably struggle with spelling, and here's what most teachers don't realize. Skipping systematic spelling instruction isn't just a writing problem, it's quietly sabotaging their reading progress. Most K-12 classrooms are laser focused on reading, sight words, decodables, and word recognition, but spelling? That's the Friday quiz, the worksheet kids finish early, or worse, it doesn't happen at all. And that's actually holding readers back. I'm going to show you why spelling matters more than you think, and what to do instead, all starting Monday. Here's what's actually happening in your classroom. You're teaching phonics, you drill sight words, you use decodable readers. You're doing everything the science of reading tells you to do for reading input. But when it's time to write, kids freeze. They guess. They spell rain as ran. They write knit for night. And we say, oh, they're just not ready for spelling yet. We'll get to that later. Wrong. Here's what you're actually doing. You're teaching them to decode without ever asking them to encode. It's like teaching someone to understand French but never letting them speak it. Then we wonder why they can't remember words. But there's a reason for that, and it's not what most teachers think. You've seen this kid. They read the word jump perfectly in their decodable book on Monday. Tuesday, they stare at it like they've never seen it before. Now, why does this happen? Because they never encoded it. They never had to think about the sounds, map them to letters, and write it down. When kids only read words, they're processing them passively. The brain sees the word, recognizes the pattern, and moves on. But when they spell it, that's active. The brain has to segment sounds, choose the right letters, then sequence them correctly. That's how words stick. Reading scientists proved this decades ago. Spelling isn't just related to reading, it's how your brain builds permanent word memory. No encoding, no storage. It's that simple. So if the science is clear, why are most classrooms still skipping systematic spelling? And what are they doing instead? Random word lists, cat, dog, the, said, when. No phonics connection, just memorization. Or spelling tests every Friday that test vocabulary, not decoding. Kids study Monday through Thursday, then forget everything by next Monday. Or my personal favorite, just use invented spelling. Let them be creative. Listen, I'm all for encouraging writing, but if you never correct bot to boat, that student is storing the wrong pattern, and you're going to have to undo that later. These approaches don't build phonics knowledge, they don't support decoding, and they definitely don't create confident readers. They create kids who can't reliably write, which means they can't reliably read either. Have you ever had a student ace a decodable book but completely butcher the same words in a writing sample? That's not a writing problem, that's a spelling problem. And it's fixable. But first you need the foundation. And if you need a refresher on how to teach kids to actually segment sounds, I've got a full video on blending and segmenting linked in the description. It walks you through the exact steps. Once you've got the foundation, here's how you build on it. First, match your spelling to your phonics scope and sequence. If you're teaching short vowels this week, your spelling words are short vowel words. If you're teaching digraphs, spell digraph words. Don't throw random vocabulary at them. For example, it's October, so all the words that have to do with Halloween. You want to align decoding and encoding. Second, use daily word building. Sound it out, tap it, build it with magnetic letters or tiles. This is how the brain maps sounds to symbols, by doing it, not just seeing it. Third, dictation is your new best friend. Say the word shop. Ask, what's the first sound? Student says, shh. You ask, what letters spell shh? They write sh. Do this step by step for every sound and every letter. That's orthographic mapping in action, connecting sounds to letters until it becomes automatic. Fourth, teach patterns, not random words. Group words by spelling pattern. ing words, ring, sing, king. Show them how changing one letter changes the word. This builds flexibility. It shows the logic of English spelling, and it makes encoding predictable. So why does this work when random spelling lists don't? Because it checks every science of reading box. It's explicit. You're teaching patterns directly. It's systematic and cumulative. Each skill builds on the last. We use sound symbol mapping, the foundation of reading. It's multi-sensory practice. They say it, hear it, write it. You're not asking kids to memorize, you're teaching them a system. And when kids understand the system, spelling stops being a guessing game and starts being a skill. Students with integrated spelling instruction show higher reading accuracy and fluency. That's not my opinion, that's been proven by the National Reading Panel in the year 2000. Reading and spelling aren't two separate subjects. They're two sides of the same coin. And if you're only teaching one side, you're leaving half of their learning on the table. So what does this look like Monday morning? Pick 5 to 7 decodable words aligned to whatever phonics skill you're teaching this week. Build them with the students. Dictate them. Have students write them in sentences. And don't just test correctness. Watch their confidence. Are they segmenting sounds? Are they mapping letters automatically? That's growth. And if you want a spelling routine template that walks you through this step by step, I've got one linked below. It's free. Reading and spelling are two sides of the same coin. You want kids to decode better, then let them encode as well. When we treat spelling as essential, not optional, kids stop guessing and start reading with power. Hit the subscribe button. I break down reading instruction failures like this every week. And check out my full playlist, Common Reading Practices That Fail, where I expose other methods holding your students back. I've also got free short vowel sound maps linked below, so you can start practicing segmenting and encoding today. Stop skipping spelling. Your readers deserve better.